actually a lot of people right here in this room don't like to stand up in front of groups of people, and obviously it's not for the faint of heart. I know a lot of people struggle with that, but I've been led to believe by Spirit that someone must speak for them, and they gladly welcome people like me that don't mind getting up and relaying their information to you. So even though they're no longer here in the physical, they do feel an obligation to get information across to those of us they have left behind. So we, as mediums, take the responsibility very seriously. All jokes aside, I mean, Spirit does have a very good sense of humor. I've learned that over the years, and we're taught in our classes to always give what we get, not embellish anything. Don't try to interpret, because then you possibly will misinterpret and miss the whole message, because it's not for you. So give what you get. So when I step forward on a Sunday morning to stand before the congregation and our guests, it's to disseminate information that is not usually my thoughts, but those from the higher side of life. So as we sit and listen today, know that the infinite and those that follow that way have something of value to say to you. So as we know, and we learn repeatedly on a daily basis, life can be an extreme challenge at times, and we all know that. Who hasn't faced adversity, hardship, numerous obstacles in the way at times, all throughout your life? Some of us at times have felt like Job, that it was just one thing after the other, just pursuing us, like don't look back because there's something chasing you again. So Spirit wants us to know that we all walk this path with others alongside us, others that take us through those challenges and help us weather the storms. They say life is just a bowl of cherries, but we all know that even red, juicy, ripe cherries, the good ones from Washington State, right, Cheryl? They contain pits. So everything, it seems, comes with a blemish of some sort. We get up every day, unsure of what's to come, but we always ask Spirit to guide us through the day. We struggle with the weight of the world sometimes on our shoulders. And yes, times can be like walking across a skating pond without ice skates. Sometimes you just land on your butt, bottom line. And I think, I'm sure most of you have experienced that. I'm not saying you all grew up in the icy cold up north, but most of us have experienced that. And boy, does that hurt. You come down hard. It hurts. So our church has a life here, a journey, and you're all a part of that. The members and the consistent visitors that spend time here have a role to play in it. So here at the church, we struggle at times, and people's lives affect the church in various ways. For even though we are all spirit here in the human form, everyone is on different paths, facing different adversities, and hitting their own speed bumps along the road of the journey we call life. We have a beautiful facility here, and many of us do our best to maintain it. I was here this morning at 8:30, and Joe was right behind me, out weed whacking and trimming and doing his best to make us look good. But that in itself sometimes can be a tough row to hoe. Taxes need to be paid, or fees, or whatever you want to call it. We pay insurance, we pay utilities, the lights and water must function. These are all day-to-day expenses you yourselves face and can understand. But this isn't about money, though of course it must be taken care of. This is about weathering storms and overcoming so-called bumps in the road. This church has been here for many years, and hopefully it will probably go on for many years. We're a strong church. We've got great bones. Look around you. I know it's not as crowded as it usually is on Sundays, but people love this church and they get a lot out of it. There are those among you who have sat in these pews for many years and gotten a lot out of it, spiritually as well as emotionally. We do love you, guide you, welcome you, and even feed you. We offer as much as we can to so many. So sometimes we need to kind of toot our own horn because we don't give ourselves enough credit. We firmly believe in the promulgation of our beautiful spiritualist religion. We prove to you that yes, indeed, life goes on, and you will be a part of that other life on the other side someday. It gives us hope and lots of love to come. We educate you about the whole process in the spiritualist classes that are available through Moore's Pratt or sometimes on the local level as well. We try to help you navigate through the stormy seas of life. So let us do what Spirit offers to you. Yes, life can be hard, but it's all part of the way, the process to get through to the other side. But life can be so beautiful too, as we all know. There is love and light and laughter and the feeling of being part of something so beautiful right here in this wonderful place. I know if you listen to the news or read any of the magazines or editorials in newspapers, it's all like henny penny and the sky is falling and woe is me, everything is so bad. But that's media, and that's how they sell newspapers and make people tune in to the 4 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock news or whatever. You sit there, and I think after a while you just want to pull the covers up over your eyes or mute the TV like, whoa, it's all bad, it's all bad. But that's only because it's sensationalism, and that's what draws people in. Breaking news. And then you hear the news and, okay, it's not nice news. Somebody shot somebody on the other side of Orlando, or there was a fight and somebody stabbed somebody, and now, 2 children are left without their parents, or, oh, look at this, the homeless people living in the woods, and oh, those bad homeless people, why are they living in the woods? They know we don't like to drive by and see that. I was driving in this morning from Titusville, and I think I got to the light on Colonial Woodbury where there's like a Wawa station and whatever, and there's this little spot on the right side, that I think if you're flying through there, usually at 50, 60 miles an hour, you don't see. But there was a group of homeless people that had this little encampment under these beautiful shady pine trees. And they had their little pallets out and their tables, and they were all getting up and I guess, you know, having their morning drink or whatever if they went to Wawa or whatever. And of course there was somebody in the median collecting for all that to happen, you know. So they had their own little community right there. And you know, if you didn't really think about what it actually is, it actually looked very pleasant that they were all together in this little shady little spot, you know, waking up together and, you know, whatever plans they all had for the day. So I think it kind of goes back to that old expression, you know, they used to say, stop and smell the roses, or, you know, that kind of thing. Like, pay attention. Don't just listen to the horrific, awful news. In fact, go a couple days without even watching the news if that's possible. And your whole, you know, your whole aura and vibration just changes. It doesn't reflect all this negativity and mean-spiritedness and nastiness that you're going to hear about on the news. You're going to actually have these blinders up, or blockers, you know, all around you, keeping all that unpleasantness away. And see what it actually does for you when you're not aware of, you know, this shooting or this mass shooting across the country somewhere that is just making, you know, everyone feel like, oh, we can't even go outside, you know, we're going to get shot, or we're going to get carjacked stopping at the gas station, you know, kind of thing. I mean, it's awful. It really is. And it can be very scary. It really can. But we strive to do our best here, and we live in service to others, like Spirit consistently reminds us, because that's how we truly grow and progress. Because we're going to take this with us. The way we live our lives, we're going to take that with us. So there's not going to be this fear of being punished for the way you lived your life. Most of us here truly believe in personal responsibility. That's something that I teach, you know, to my granddaughter whenever she's struggling with something, or she didn't do something she was supposed to do, and then there's consequences for those actions. That's what, it's a teachable moment. And I sit down with her and say, remember what we talked about, you know, and she doesn't want to hear it, of course, because she's a teenager, but I said it's personal responsibility. Like, no one did this to you. What happened is because of the choices you made, the things you didn't finish or you neglected to do. It's all about personal responsibility. We're not expecting Jesus Christ to take the blame and, you know, die for our sins, all the horrible indiscretions that we, you know, live life day to day people do. We don't believe that as spiritualists. We believe there are consequences for our actions, and it's personal responsibility. You make those choices. So it's almost like you know, you're learning these lessons day by day. Also, you know, because of natural law, we learn all these things. There's consequences. We attract things, good and bad, by the way we live our lives. So I live each day in service to others. And I don't expect everyone to do that, but Spirit has come upon many of us here to influence us and guide us, and it gives us the knowledge to help others. But what if I only want to help myself? By doing for others, I gain something from that too. I don't mean monetarily or materially, but true spirituality. You learn those lessons along your path. So even though there's always negative thoughts or comments about people, places, and things, people, you know, want to gossip or spread malicious comments or things about other people. Always strive to take the higher road. Know that Spirit does have a plan for all of us. Our paths may join together at times, but often just temporarily, and then sometimes you move on ahead and follow your own twists and turns and detours. Not everyone's path is the same. Not everyone's path lies straight and no deviations or detours. We're unique. We are Spirit on a journey through humanity here on the earth plane. So you're here. You're here today. You're here with us now. You learn what Spirit has to offer. And most of you aren't afraid to jump in and join us with whatever we have to offer you, classes, workshops, information, etc. Opportunities to network with people of like minds. That's part of our whole reason for having a potluck lunch every Sunday. We want people to stay. We're not like pushing you out the door like other churches. It's like, as soon as the service ends, they're opening the doors, like everybody floods out the doors and you don't see anybody, for another week. You don't talk to anybody for another week, It's not like that here. It's like, hey, come back. Come back and have lunch. Come back and talk. Come back and discuss your beliefs or your suggestions or classes you went to, books you read. That's what it's all about. It's about spreading this religion and helping others enjoy it and learn from it as we do. So we're always open to those suggestions. We like to challenge our minds as well as yours. And Spirit is here. Know that Spirit is here. They're here to guide us. And they strengthen us, our beliefs in ourselves. So it's important to our progression, our spiritual progression, that we're here and we're growing. And we blossom into the most beautiful, strong, and capable creatures you can be. We each have an important part to play in all of this. So if you're here, you are meant to be here for some reason. Maybe you haven't quite figured it out yet why you're here, but you're here for a reason, and you were guided here, believe it or not. Believe that we are here in this particular place at this particular time for a very important reason. So you bring something to the table. All of you bring something to the table. You're not just here to learn something from somebody else. You're here to learn something about yourself and probably spread that to the other people that are here as well. You all are valued here. Even if you sit there and you don't say a word, soak it all in and then take it with you and spread it to somebody somebody you work with or somebody you live with, somebody that you discuss things with, co-workers, friends, neighbors. So you all have something to offer. So we always welcome you here. In this place, you can find a home, a spiritual retreat for your soul as it journeys on into time. But remember, this right now here is your time. So make the most of it, make the best of it, but don't keep it all to yourselves. You've been blessed. And when you walk out of here, it's almost, you probably don't even realize it, but people that look at auras and things like that, they probably see it about you. And you carry it with you everywhere you go. I know I've been places where people, they'll come up to me and, they'll be like, I think they have some kind of spiritual knowledge or awakening or enlightenment, and they'll tell me, I listened to you like 2 Sundays ago, or I was there and I was listening to you, or you were talking to me, and there was a glow around you. Well, I don't walk around thinking that I'm glowing, you know. If it is, it's probably from something I was exposed to, you know, in the military. I probably do have some kind of radioactive glow from New Mexico, from, you know, hanging out in places maybe I wasn't supposed to be, you know, White Sands, Roswell, whatever. But it's all good. It's all part of the learning experience. So all jokes aside, yeah, you probably walk out of here and people probably do notice there's something different about you. Maybe the way you carry yourself, the way you speak to other people. You're all representing spiritualism at its best. So when you're out and about in the community, I know we don't wear stickers or signs on us saying, yes, I am a spiritualist, you know, and we don't accost people in the supermarkets and tell them their grandmother has a message for them, or, you know, talk to the guy at the deli and say, yeah, well, you know, and we're not the Long Island medium kind of thing. It's a whole different low-key kind of mentality here. But you do take that with you. You carry it with you. And I do tell people that I know we're not supposed to, and I don't prescribe it either, to believe that you're better than other people, or there's something special about you, you know? But from the people I've encountered over the years that are true spiritualists, there is something about them. There is something about the way they look, or the way they interact with other people, and you see that they do carry, they truly, genuinely do carry that spark of the divine in them. And sometimes if you're not careful and you haven't put your cloak on or your shields, it does emanate from you. You have a glow. You have a glow. So that's a good thing. That's a blessed thing. And know that you are, by being here in this church at this time in your lives, you have been blessed. And you are special. You really are. So take that to the bank and appreciate Spirit for all the gifts that they have passed on to us and made us self-aware of that as well. So kind of, you know, pat yourself on the back because you found a good place to land, a place that's always going to welcome you and accept you regardless of what you tell us. Just don't tell us that you're a serial killer or an axe murderer or anything like that, because then you would have to call the police or something. But otherwise, we would hold your deepest, darkest sins in ourself and keep it to ourselves. So bless all of you and have a good week.